welcome to today's equipment class. For today's class, you're just going to need a mat, a headrest, a circle or cushion, a circular band, and then 2 light weights or water bottles, and a foam roller or a small ball. So we'll get started off on our hands and knees with the warm-up. So kind of generally same as usual here. So starting off just with your knees directly under your hips, and your hands should be directly under your shoulders. Starting off by dropping the ribcage down, arching the back, looking up in front. And then rounding out the spine all the way, looking down between the knees, feeling that nice stretch just between the shoulder blades. And then dropping the ribcage down, arching the back, looking up in front. And rounding out the spine, looking down between the knees. Again, dropping the ribcage down, arching the back, looking up. And once more, rounding out the spine, looking down between the knees. Good, and then we're going to straighten out the right leg behind, left arm in front, small circles with the arm and leg, keeping the back nice and flat, and lower down, left leg, right arm. Good, back is nice and flat, small circles with the arm and leg. And lower down, shift all the way to the right side, straighten out the left leg and the left arm. And then left arm comes out to the side, back in front. We're going to do 2 more. Out to the side, back in front, 1 more. Back in front, and then left leg out to the side, just a few inches. Back behind you, out to the side, back behind you, 1 more. Back behind you, and lower down. And then we're going to shift our weight to the left and then straighten out the left leg and the right leg and the right arm. And then right arm comes out to the side. Try to keep those hips parallel to the mat. Back in front, out to the side, back in front. Whoops. And 1 more, out to the side, back in front. And then we're going to do the leg. Nearly skipped the leg. So right leg comes out to the side, back behind you, out to the side, back behind you, and 1 more, and lower down. Then we're going to dig the toes in, pinch the shoulders back, lift the knees up, and hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good, and again, pinch the shoulders back, lift the knees up. See, can you lift the right arm up? And down, left arm up, right arm, left arm, right, left. 1 more on the right, 1 more on the left. Lower down, bring the knees apart nice and wide, sit back onto the heels, crawl the fingers forward into child's pose, taking a few deep breaths here, just melting down towards the mat. Then we're going to come down into a cobra. Good, so you can bring your feet wide or together. Again, you can come onto your elbows. And then we're going to do that sequence again. So back to the child's pose. Holding here. You can kind of twist to each side, just stretching out the shoulders a bit more. Back to cobra. We're going to do that 1 more time. Getting a nice stretch. And back into child's pose for the last time. Notice if you're feeling a little bit looser, if you can get your forehead to the mat now. Maybe your heels touching your bum. Back into cobra for the last time. Hopefully this feels a little bit easier to get into, maybe a little less stiff. Maybe your hips are closer to the mat. Chest is forward, and then gently lowering down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then we'll just move everything out of the way. We're just starting off with some nice glute activation. So we're going to press the hips into the mat. We're going to lift up the left leg and the right leg. Try to keep the legs close together, so we don't want the leg flaring out to the side. So left leg, right leg, left, right, left, right, good, left, right. Hold the left leg up, 10 pulses. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Right leg, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down. Bend that left leg. Try to point the foot so it's straight, not pointing up. So point it so it's flat. Lift that left leg up towards the ceiling and lower. Lift and lower. So try not to let your hips lift. So press your hips into the mat as you lift that left thigh up and down. Really squeezing the bum muscles on the left. You want your leg going straight up. You don't want it coming out to the side. Good, we have 4 more. 3. Try to keep that foot pointed straight. I know it's hard. 2 and 1. Switching over. Point that foot so it's flat. Lifting straight up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower down. Bend both knees. Now we bring the knees nice and wide and the soles of the feet are together. This is called frog. So we're going to push your hips down into the mat, lift the thighs up, and lower. So this is getting more of the outer glutes. Whereas the other 2 exercises, we're getting the big main glute muscle called the gluteus maximus. This is getting the gluteus medius. It's a smaller muscle that is on the outer part of the hip, from the top of the hip to the outer part. Good. Try to get the legs up as high as you can. Don't worry if they only lift up an inch or 2. And really press your hips down into the mat. Good. We have 3 more. 2 and 1. Straighten the legs down. Now we're going to tuck the chin in. Bring the hands down by your sides. Squeeze the legs together. Lift the upper body up. Twist the hands back and pinch the shoulders together. And lower. Lifting up, twist and pinch. And lower. Lifting up and pinch. And lower. Good. And lower. Lifting up. And lower. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep the upper body up. Flutter kicks with the legs. Keep the chin tucked in. Keep going. Keep the chest up as high as you can. See, can you go a little bit higher? See, can you squeeze the shoulders back more? For 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Perfect. A few more here. These are really good for your core and your lower back and also your mid back as well. Good. So next up, arms out to the side, elbows are bent. We're gonna push the hips in, lift the upper body up, and lower. So bring the thumbs pointing up, lift and lower. So squeeze the shoulders as you lift. Lift and lower. So working on our postural muscles and the backs of our shoulder blades. So when we're sitting, we aren't rounded. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. And lower down. Now take your time coming onto your back. Make sure the weights are handy and the other things as well. Just starting off, flipping over. And then we're just going to start with some toe taps. So we will imprint the spine. So remember, tucking the hips back, flattening the back, bringing the leg up one at a time into tabletop, tapping the right foot down and the left foot, alternating each side. Nice soft taps here. Gradually reaching a little further away. Good. If you want, you can try to tap the heels down. It's a little bit harder. So the further you reach, the harder it is. Keep the spine imprinted. You should not feel this in your back. You should just feel it in the tummy muscles. If you're feeling it in the back, tap a bit closer. Good. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. Rest the legs down. Imprint the spine. Legs on the tabletop. Squeeze the legs together. Tapping both down. Good. And back to tabletop. Keep the legs squeezed together. Good. Try to tap a little bit further away. Shoulders are relaxed. Make sure that low back isn't lifting. Now we're going to try something a bit different. Bring the knees nice and wide into that frog position again, and then tapping down into the frog position. And back up. So getting those outer hip muscles again here with this. So when the legs are externally rotated, when the knees drop out, you activate more of the outer hip. Good. 3 more. 2. And last one. Good. And resting the feet down. Then we will grab the resistance band. Bring it up to above the knees. And we'll grab the roller as well. Perfect. I didn't mean to match this to my top. It just was a coincidence. But we will, so have your resistance band just right above your knees. So don't have it on the knee joint. Bring it just above. Arms down by your side. Nice and easy. Bring the knees apart. Imprint, lifting up. So make sure you get that full hip extension. Don't stop here. So come all the way up. And then lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And again, imprint, lift, and lower down. Imprint and lift. So see how my hips are tucked back as I lower. I'm not lowering with an arch like this. I'm lowering with a flat back, lowering from my upper back down to my tailbone as last. So you really want to make sure you are doing this correctly, because you want to use your core to lower, not your back muscles. Good. So imprint, lifting up, lowering down. Good. So if you need to slow it down, that's okay. It's more important to do it correctly. Imprint and lift. But if you find this pace a little bit too slow and you're comfortable with your technique, feel free to do it a little bit faster. That's an option as well. Good. And lower. 2 more. And last one. Perfect. Now we're going to bring the elbows on the mat. And tension in the band. Imprint. Lifting up. And lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. Good. Imprint and lift. And lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. Good. Keep tension the whole time. If you're really feeling this in the hamstrings, just try to bend your knees. So try to bring the heels closer to your bum rather than having the legs out like this. You're going to get more hamstring. So try to bend the knees more as much as you can. And lower. Good. 3 more. Make sure to squeeze the glutes at the top as tight as you can. And last one. And lower. Perfect. Next we're going to cross the arms across the chest. Shoulders are relaxed, so make sure that they're not coming up like this towards your ears. Push them down away from your ears. Pull them back. So squeeze your shoulder blades back together. And then tension in the band. Imprint and lift. And lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. And lower. Good. Keep the tension in the band. Imprint and lift. And lower. Last one. Keep the hips up nice and high. Bring the knees apart together. Apart together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right knee out to the side, left knee out to the side. Right knee, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Last one on the right, last one on the left. And lower down. Perfect. Then we're going to move the roller out of the way. And coming back down, we'll do a few more here for the glutes. Imprinting the spine. Bringing the legs into tabletop. Keeping the legs in tabletop. Pull the legs apart and back together. Apart, together, apart, together. Good. Shoulders are relaxed. Spine's imprinted. So always kind of checking these things yourself as well. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Back together. Bring the band around the ankles. Ankles apart, together. Try to point the toes up to the ceiling. Apart, together, apart, together, apart, together, apart, together. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs up, twist the feet out slightly, pull the legs apart and together. If you want to make this harder, chin to the chest, rolling forward, shoulders are relaxed. Good. If you want to make it easier, resting that head down, or if this hurts your neck, just keep your head down. We have 3, 2, 1, then lower and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Bending the knees. Take the band off, put it to the side. Grab the circle. I'll give you a quick rest for a second. So just grab your circle or cushion, keep it close by. And we'll do a few with that. So starting off with the legs, just knees bent, spines imprinted. Squeeze the circle and relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. And relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Keep the circle squeezed. Straighten up the right leg out to the side and together. Out to the side together for 3, 4. Make sure the hips don't move. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bend the right leg. Keep the circle squeezed. Straighten the left leg out to the side together. Out to the side together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Bend the left leg. Grab the circle. Hopefully you're starting to feel that in the adductors, so the inner thigh muscles. They should just start to be warming up now after those. Next up, keep the knees bent. Squeeze the circle nice and tight. Imprint the spine, lift the hips up, and lower. Imprint and lift. So keep the circle squeezed nice and tight the whole time. Lift and lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. Imprint and lift. And lower. 3 more. 2. And last one, keep the hips up nice and high, lift the heels up, lower the heels down. Lift the heels up and lower, nice and controlled as you lower. Keep the circle squeezed, lift and lower, lift and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the heels up, squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Lowering down. You can grab the circle if you'd like, or you can leave it there. Next up, we will imprint the spine. Bring the legs to tabletop. Circle between the ankles. Squeeze the circle nice and tight. And relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right leg out to the side, left leg out to the side. So remember, the opposite leg doesn't move. Right. Good. And the left, right, left. Nice and slow. So hips are still as well. Sometimes it helps to just put your hands here. 1 more on the right, 1 more on the left. Straighten the legs up, squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, press the feet down. Then we're going to come onto our side and do a few with the circle on our side. If you haven't done the other videos, we've done this in a few of the other ones. So just a different way to target your adductors, so your inner thigh, and your abductors are the outer thigh here. So as we push down, we're going to activate the inner thigh, and as we lift up, we're getting the outer thigh. So it's just something different to do. So remember, back lined up with the back of the mat, and then feet are just in the front corner. So just have them at a slight angle, just in front here. So we're going to start off just pushing down with the top leg and then lifting up. So your hips should be stacked here. What I mean by that is you want your top hip directly on top of your bottom hip. So you don't want to be rolling forward, rolling backward. You just want to be in a nice straight line here. So I like to just put my hand on my hip just to make sure. So push down and lift. So only the top leg is doing the work here. And as well, keep the leg nice and long. And if you have a cushion, you could just put that between the legs as well. Down and up for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to do the bottom leg a little bit harder. Lift and lower. Or a lot harder, I should say. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. You won't get as much movement with this one. Try to keep the top leg still, so I only want the bottom leg pushing here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Squeeze with both legs. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep both legs up. Squeeze and relax with both. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bend the legs. Circle goes in between the knees now. Good, so we're going to squeeze nice and tight and relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Try to keep the feet together as best you can. Good. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the circle squeezed. Last one here. Squeeze the circle nice and tight. Elbow is directly under the shoulder. Keep the circle squeezed. Don't worry if you have to kind of rejig it or readjust it. Squeeze that circle nice and tight. We're going to lift the hips up and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Keep the circle squeezed. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower down. Grab the circle. We are going to just stretch out the quad muscle. So that's in the front of the thigh here. So just pulling that back. Tuck the rib cage down, just like this. Good, and just feeling that stretch in the front of the thigh here. And then we'll switch over. So grab your circle again. Back leg up at the back of the mat. Just make sure you get it into a good position so it's not sliding around to start off. So back leg up at the back, feet in the front corner, hips are stacked. So just kind of think of all this before you get started. Top leg is nice and long. So now that we're in good alignment, we'll start with the top leg pushing down. So this one's not too bad. At least I don't think this one's too bad. Good, pushing down and back up. Good, it's a lot easier to generate force with the top leg. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, now the bottom leg, the hard one. Lift and lower, good. You might feel like you're lifting up some concrete. That's okay. lift and lower, lift and lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Squeeze with both legs. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze with both legs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Bend the knees and circle just above the knees. So starting off, squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax. So don't worry if that top leg kind of lifts up, if the toes kind of come up. But try to keep the feet touching, so don't let them come apart like this. So feet stay together. Good. Squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Last one here on our side. So squeeze that circle nice and tight. So just take your time getting it into a good position. It might be a bit easier with a cushion, but sometimes these circles can kind of slip around. So take your time getting the right position. Elbow under your shoulder, lifting up and lower. Keep the circle squeezed. For 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower down. Circle goes to the side, and then we'll stretch out that quad muscle here. And just relaxing the head, tucking the rib cage down. And then we'll come into our backs and stretch everything out. Good, so pulling the knee into your chest, shoulders are relaxed. Just whatever area feels tight, just pulling it in. And then bring that right arm out to the side. Right leg across into spinal twist. Try to keep that arm in contact with the floor. Back to the center. Left leg in, shoulders relaxed. Pulling nice and tight. Left arm out to the side. And just twisting across into spinal twist. And just go whatever feels comfortable. If you can just come up to here, that's okay. If you can come all the way down, that's great. So whichever feels the most comfortable for you. Back to the center. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Pull the knee into the chest. Shoulders are relaxed. And then left leg over the right thigh, and then pulling the knee into your chest. Good, shoulders are relaxed. Left leg down, straightening up the right leg to stretch the right hamstring, so shoulders relaxed again. Switching over, shoulders relaxed, straighten up the left leg. And then bending the left leg, and then we'll just finish off stretching the adductors. So we did a lot with the circle today. So the adductors are your inner thigh muscles. So I like to call this butterfly stretch. So you bring your soles of your feet together, and then you just let your knees drop down. So some people can get them all the way down. Mine are a bit tight, so my knees kind of pop up. Some people's are way up here, so just whatever you can do. The further you move your feet away from you, the more you can push them down. So if yours are very stiff and your knees are popping up like this, just try to move them a bit further in front, and then it'll be easier to lean into it. Otherwise, if you're kind of like me, maybe have them somewhere in the middle, and then you can use your elbows to really push down. You'll really feel that just into the inner thighs or into the groin. So really just gently pushing down. And then if you're very mobile, if you have a lot of movement here, you could bring your legs all the way up and then push them down from there. So just go to the area that you feel is the most comfortable, but that you can also get a good stretch as well. And just gently leaning into it. Good, and try to keep your back nice and straight here. So I'll just show you my back. So you're keeping your back straight. You don't want to be rounding like this forward. You want to be keeping it straight and then just using your elbows to push down. So just make sure that you're not collapsing through the mid-back or the lumbar spine. So keeping that straight and gently pushing down from there. Good. And then I hope everyone has a really good Christmas. It's this week, so enjoy and stay safe, and then we'll see you next week.